So I am Anna Urton. I am the treasurer of Student Congress. I'm gonna talk you through how to do the budget request process for your organization, and then a little bit about some tips on keeping your budget organized and things like that. Alrighty, maybe. Okay. So where does the money come from that we are allocating? So we pay a student activity fee each year, and then that money is distributed between Student Congress and Student Development, and then we allocate that to the student organizations, and then you guys spend that however you plan to in your organization. This is a little example about like when we give you money, what your account will look like. So if you have a remaining balance for the previous semester, we will allocate you the money to get you to the full budget amount that you are requesting. So here, if you have 200 left from the previous semester and you want 1,000, we will give you 800 to get you to that 1,000. And then it's similar for if your organization is in debt. So we will give you the money that you're requesting, but then it won't show that full amount in your account. So it will be minus whatever you're in debt for your organization. And then this here is just how to kind of watch your account. So on MyFC, if you go to the departments tab on the left, it'll drop down this little menu and you can go to the business operations. And then here it will show you your accounts that you are the treasurer for. So you can click on the year that you want to look at, and then it'll pull up your line item breakdown, and then you can click on a category. So if you're looking at apparel, you can click on that, and then it'll take you here, and this will show you kind of where your money is being spent and what it is being spent on. And then some tips for keeping your records. One important thing is to make sure that you're keeping your receipts and making copies of those. One way that's super easy to do that is if you just scan it with your phone, and then you can, either email it to yourself or save it in a Word document or something like that. And that is just an easy way to do that. We also recommend that you keep everything updated at a regular pace instead of waiting like the week before you want to request a budget for the next semester, or if you're transitioning your organization, you want to make sure that you have everything up to date for the person that's taking your position. And it's just so much easier if you go about it just in a timely manner instead of waiting and then being confused and lost. We'll go to the next one. So I'll walk you through how to do the budget request form on Presence. It is a little different than last year. It's not like the Word document that we emailed out. It's on Presence. So this is the text version of how to get there. And then I will show you in just a second. Okay, can you see my screen? No, okay. Okay. Now can you see my screen? Okay. So this is where you will need to be. I will go back here and walk you through how to get there. When I'm done with this presentation, I'll ask you all to check and make sure that you have access on Presence to this. You should, but just in case you don't, we'll have you check. So you're gonna go to your Presence page and then go to your admin page here. And then when it loads, you'll go over here to the Finance tab. And then maybe. Okay. When this loads, there will be this little Create button, and then you're going to go to the Allocation tab. All right. Maybe. Okay. So at the top here, we just have some information to keep in mind. You have to have your approval and your request turned in by November 4th at noon. And then we have here just like what happens if you don't have all of the required aspects of your budget request. Okay, so you're gonna start by filling out all this simple stuff about your organization. I'll just do Student Congress as an example. And then spring 2021 budget. And then for your organization, again, I'll select Student Congress. And then if you are requesting over $500, you need to have your activities summary filled out. And we will be emailing that out tomorrow. And that just kind of gives a breakdown of the different activities that you're hosting and gives us an idea of what your organization is planning on doing. And you'll fill that out in a Word document and then upload it here in this section. And then if you scroll down here, it'll ask you questions. You just answer these. So do your members pay dues? And then if they do, it'll pop up with some more questions here, how much per person, and then number of members who are paying those dues each year. And then the next one, if you say yes, it'll ask for more information about that as well. All right, and then this bottom part is where you're gonna put all of the categories and the amounts that you're requesting. So if you click on this first line here, it'll give you the categories that you can pick. So I'll just do food for an example. And then the title here, I'm just gonna put food again. And then for the description, you're gonna put like what you're planning on spending money on in that category. So you can do like $100 for snacks for meetings, and then like $50 for pizza, and then why you're spending that money on that. And then we'll go over here and you'll add all of this together. So that would be 150. And then Congress. And then if you have any attachments to add, there is a section right down here to do that. And then your total allocation will pop up here. And it will increase as you add. So once you do one of these, you're gonna scroll back up. Sorry, this keeps getting in the way. You're gonna scroll back up to this little area here and you'll click add, and then it'll add another form exactly like that one down at the bottom, and then you'll just fill it out the same again, but for a different category. So we did food last time, so you can just click apparel this time, and then you'll fill out the same thing. Why you're spending that money, what you're spending it on. And then when you put an amount here, it will update this at the bottom. And that is really nice to keep an eye on to make sure that you're entering everything correctly. And then once you have filled out all of that information, you have everything you need, you'll scroll to the top here and click submit for approval. And then this will send it to your organization president and your advisor, and they will approve it. And then we will go over it. Let me get out of here. Okay. So that was that. And then some more tips for requesting your budget. I would recommend meeting with other members of your organization, like your exec board, or at least your president, and getting kind of an idea of what your organization plans on doing and what they want to spend money on for this semester. And then I showed you in the presence form, there is like a question about members paying fees. And then if they do, you have to have the number of members that are paying fees. So that's important information to have before you go to fill this form out because it'll just make it a lot quicker for you. And then you'll also need to know if you receive any financial gifts and the details of that. And then the last kind of recommendation I have is to fill out the activity summary and or the table. It's like a line item breakdown that you'll get in the email tomorrow. And filling that out with your organization president or whoever else is super easy to just look at that document, and then you can just enter that information into the presence form, and it'll just go a lot quicker for you, and it'll just let you fill it all in, already have it ready. I think that is all I have. Beth, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, just a tip for presents. You hopefully have learned this by now, but presents tends to work best on Google Chrome. So try to use that browser if you have that option. And definitely begin, like Anna said, talk with other members of your organization and begin that process now so that you're not flustered right before these requests are due. Anna, did we cover the deadlines already?
I don't think so, but I can pull them up really quick. These will also, I believe they were sent in the first email that everyone should have gotten, and then we'll include them in the email tomorrow. All right, so here they are down here. So you'll have everything is due November 4th at noon, like I said, and then the days between the 26th of October and the 3rd of November, you'll have audit meetings with student Congress members, and we'll kind of go through your requests with you and get everything situated that you need. And then everything will be due that next day. So yeah. Yep.
So if you can have at least an idea of the amount you're requesting prepared for that audit meeting, that will make that a much more successful meeting. And you'll also want to be prepared to show the Congress member you meet with how you are saving all of your receipts, whether that's in an electronic format, just saved in a file on your computer, or paper copies of receipts saved in a folder. However you're saving that, we're just going to want to see that you are keeping good track of your receipts. The last thing we wanted to do is confirm that everybody has access to view their budget on both MyFC and on Presence. So I'm going to put a link in the chat that you can use. If you are missing access to either of those, you can tell me in this form. There's no need to fill out the form if you have access to both of those. So on MyFC, you should be able to, like Anna said early on in the meeting, go to departments and then business operations, and then be able to access your budget over on the right-hand side. And presidents, treasurers, and advisors should have access to that at this point. So if you don't have access, use that form to tell me. And then the presence finance stuff that Anna was just showing later in the meeting, only treasurers should have access to that at this point. We're working on getting it for presidents and advisors very soon. So if you're a president or an advisor missing access on presence, you don't need to fill out that form just yet. But if you are a treasurer missing access on presence, go ahead and tell me through this form that we just sent in the chat. So please check that access right now and use that form to tell me so I can get you that access as quickly as possible. Does anybody have any questions about the budget request process? And you can feel free to just unmute yourself and ask, or send questions in the chat.
I have one. So I was trying to get on the Perez or whatever it is, sorry, during the thing, like trying to follow her steps. Do we have to make our account? Because I tried logging in with a Franklin one and everything, and it wasn't like letting me go.
It is separate from your Franklin College login, so you should create an account using your Franklin College email address, but you'll have to create a separate password for that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, well, I won't keep you all here if there aren't any more questions, but feel free to email Anna or myself if you do come across questions as you're getting your budget requests ready. Other than that, I hope you all have a lovely evening and a good week, and everybody stays healthy. Thank you all for taking some time to be here.